Hi there, welcome back to It's Only Paper. I'm Lisa and today I'm going to be giving you a flip through of my completed journal. This is from 2019 and it's our Disney trips. I started this back in 2019 and the interesting thing is, although I've only recently finished it, you can really see the change in my journaling style, how it's kind of like evolved over the years. So I'm excited to show you and see if you can notice the changes too. Now, if you're not into Disney, that's absolutely fine. But I think, to be honest, when it comes to journals and scrapbooks, it's not necessarily always the content. If it's something you're interested in, that's wonderful. But if it isn't, you still get to see the layout, the techniques, and just the styles and things like that. So I think no matter what the subject, it's always interesting for other people to see. Now, this is a Simple Stories Carpe Diem Traveler's Notebook cover. I do really like these. I love that they have the pockets inside and I like adding bits and pieces. So in here, let's see, I haven't even looked in here for ages, so I don't know myself. I have got the key card, that's from Marriott. I have got one of the little coffee sleeves, the Joffrey's coffee sleeves, and I've got a receipt here from Disney, and this is, from Gaston's Tavern in Walt Disney World, a cinnamon bun, so that's really cool. I've got a little quote there, keep these memories, and a little bumblebee paper clip that holds in a couple of die cuts. I've also got Delta boarding passes from our internal flight, and I've got some fast passes which I never actually used, and these are so cool because you don't get the paper fast passes anymore. We've got the Matterhorn, and we've also got Big Thunder Mountain, and and I've also got, this belongs in my other journal actually, that's a car parking ticket for the California state parks. Now, and I've got a little ear sticker there. If you haven't seen my other flip through, I will leave the link below. This was actually part of our 2019 California road trip. We started in San Francisco, worked our way down, stayed in Hollywood, and then went on to Disneyland. We also went to Palm Springs, and then we flew on to Disney World. There is a story behind that, and I'll tell you more about that in a bit. And if you want to see all the other adventures, they are actually in a separate journal, which I've already shown, so I will leave that link below. This particular journal here that I've used is from Little Rainbow Moon, and it's actually watercolor paper inside, which I really, really like. So I will show you more of that as well. You can fit 2 journals in these covers. However, as you can see, my journal got so big I wouldn't have been able to fit another one because it only just closed as it was. So there's no way I would be able to fit 2 in there. So let's start and have a look. This is the start of our California adventures. I haven't looked in here for ages, so I'm just going to see if I can flip this photo up, and I can't. I've just stuck that in. I thought I'd done it as a flip. I've used some printables here which I really like, and that does flip out. We've got first views. We stayed in a villa in a little house close to the Disneyland Hotel, so it took about 15 minutes to walk there. Very, very straightforward walk, literally 2 roads. And we then walked through the hotel to access the park. So that was very exciting, doing that every day. What we decided was to spend our first evening, we went straight there and just kind of like eyed up the park, just had a really leisurely evening, not really doing any rides. I think we did 1 ride, but just wanted to kind of like know the layout, know how to get there, use the passes and things like that, so that when we had our full day the next day, we already knew where we were going and what we were doing and all that kind of thing. So I wrote about that in our journal here in the very, very start. It was very exciting. Ada and I had been to California before, to Disneyland, not together. But this was the kids' first trip. So this was a very, very important story for me, the story of the Candy Cane Inn. You may well have seen some of these pages when I was doing process pages, like of the actual pages, so I'll leave links to those below. And basically the Candy Cane Inn is a motel, a hotel, very, very close to Disneyland, and my grandparents stayed there in the 80s, and they had a really, really lovely story attached to it. And my nan, she's not in a great way at the moment, and up until recently, she would still talk about that place. It just meant so much. So I was so excited to be able to go there and send her the photo of it afterwards. I wanted to include the whole story, so I decided not to write it and actually typed it all up. It was an important story for me, and I wanted it all on the one page so it'd be easy to read. So I actually decided to document it that way, which I don't usually do. I do usually write my journaling. This is where the watercolor paper really comes into effect. Doesn't that look beautiful? I had so much fun there. That was our first morning. Look at that blue sky, all of us. This turned out to be, I'm going to say, our last family trip. There could well be future family trips, but it was the one before the kids kind of like were both at uni. So we just feel even now so lucky to have been able to get in that trip after everything that happened just a few months later. Loved it so much. Got some ride photos there that were just so much fun. And I haven't really journaled day by day. I've just kind of like done it with stories, if that makes sense. Something that I like doing is when we're out for the day or we're doing something, I like imagining how I'm going to create a journal page. Now, I don't mean about like the whole layout, but like telling the story. So this one, we've got the ride, which I've done in the middle. I cut that in half. Because I wanted to fit it on. That is the only downside with journal pages. You don't have the space that you do with the big 12 by 12 scrapbooking pages. We've then got the ride photo, and then photo number 3 is our son completely splashed through. And I knew then that would make a really good story, and I kind of like envisaged being able to tell the story of Louis really wanting to be at the front of the ride and getting completely soaked through. So and there I've put always at the front, hoping to get wet. So, and I've done splash mounting California style. So I thought that was really fun, but I do that quite often to the point, I know this is going to sound really sad, when the kids were little, I would actually put coloured clothing on them to complement either each other or where we were going. So if we were in the woods, I wouldn't put green on them. I would have put maybe red. Something that really showed out, or orange that just looks so good against the green, because I knew the photos would look so much better. Does that sound crazy to you, or can anyone else identify with that? This next one, I've used a postcard here and folded it in half. What makes you smile? And I just thought the colours of this photo went so well with the postcard I painted. That was in one of my kits. I'm really pleased with that. And I actually added a little bit of a border there to my photo. I printed it out and cut it like that so that I could add mint julep bar, which is exactly where we are. Mickey beignet, and then the story about Mickey beignet and how the whole area just reminded us of Savannah. And there I am with my favourite Disney snack. And I also mentioned there's a story about, we were sat there, it was just so lovely. And then these people from the crowd, just normal, not customers, what do you call them? What do you call people like us that go into the parks? I can't think. Park goers, I don't know the word. They just got up. They must have been from like a jazz club, a dance club or something. And I think there was 3 or 4 couples that just got up and started dancing. It was a live jazz band, and it was totally amazing. It was just such a lovely experience just to sit and watch. Then I've got the teacups there, which was really good fun, and another ride photo there. This was just me drawing on a paper bag, just sketching, and I think I did a great big one and then just cut it in half so that I could do the bottom bit there. I was really pleased with how that turned out. And I do like a bit of casual journaling, I must admit, just a few lines and a bit of journaling. I quite like doing that. Oh, do you know, this will not stick in. I think I need to add some glue. This is a postcard. I've added a flip to this postcard, so it looks really pretty. And then this is like a little pocket pouch, and it flips to reveal a beautiful day starts with a beautiful mindset. I do need to add some proper glue to this, don't I? And then this pulls out with a little bit of journaling there. Spending time together like this feels so special. And that's Downtown Disney having a coffee. And then this also pulls out as well, just to like do a little bit of journaling, tell some stories. Oh, my bag next to me, my mail sacks just fell over. It really made me jump. And then I've got another one. This one is a big pulley out one. This one, look at that. I was really pleased with how that turned out. So this one, I've got the monorail. This was a really fun page, also done on watercolor paper. And then I've got loads of little Mickey punches that I've used using my Mickey punch. I don't use this often enough. I forget I have it. And this pulls out some photos, another bit of journaling. Whoops. And then here, this is something else I like doing. I have here done a screenshot of the park wait times. And as you can see, they were super, super low. I do a lot of screenshots for my pages. Could be the weather, could be a text that somebody sent me. I do quite a lot and I really like doing that. It's just fun. And the nice thing is as well, it also gives you the time and date that you've sent them as well, which is really handy. And then I've got this little pocket here, which also pulls out. And I really like with some papers how you get, although it's got crepe paper on it, I like that little signature strip. I think it's really, really fun. So I was chuffed with that. I think that page, I think this might be my favourite page from the journal. And this is another one of those leaves. This was actually a stamp, which I've painted, but you can see here, I've actually cut it in two. It wasn't quite long enough, so I've cut it in two, pop the photo over, and you'd never know the difference. And I just love that pop of colour on there. Yeah, this is, I think, my favourite page. I do need some glue on there. This then opens out. I've got a larger photo here. This is the following day, although, like I said, they're not actually in order. I've added some simple stories, some say cheese washi there. Something I like here, I love keeping odds and ends. These are just scrap bits left over, and I've stapled a bit there and another bit here. I think the red just really, really makes that page pop. And then this opens out. It's quite photo heavy, this one. We've got talking about snacks on this page, favourite photos, and then that flips up with a bit more journaling. And then I was just testing to see if that flipped up. I can't remember, it's been so long. And then a bit more journaling there. Like I said, this journal I've been creating in it since 2019. I'm not one to just do a journal straight out. I just do it when I fancy, and I love dipping in and out of journals. I find that really, really fun. So I love this page. This pulls out a bit more journaling, picks up here and all that. And then I've gone on to the travel side of things. Now, if you've watched my vlogs before, I apologise. You probably know the story, but we were supposed to go home after California. We were using miles flights. There were no miles flights from LA to London. Well, there were, and there was a mistake, and somebody from Virgin accidentally cancelled, and we couldn't get them back. I think it was just a case of, nope, they're not there anymore. We were really annoyed, lots of tears, and a week later I was looking, thinking, how on earth are we going to get home? And I saw there were flights from Orlando. So long story short, it cost us $4.50 something each with miles. We had plenty of miles, so that wasn't a problem. So it cost us $4.50 something each to travel from LA to Orlando. And then our DVC members, we had points that we had to use anyway. And so accommodation was sorted. We booked Bay Lake Tower for 7 nights using our points. We had just literally signed up to DVC the year before, so we had these 200 points that needed using. So accommodation didn't cost us anything, and we just bought park passes for the week. So it cost us $4 something each to travel there. Accommodation was sorted, and we just bought the park passes for the week. And from there, we were able to get miles flights home to Orlando, and it actually ended up saving us money somehow. I think because we made the California trip slightly shorter, then we added on an extra couple of nights for Orlando, and that made us travel out of season. So it actually ended up saving us money in the long run. So that was it. So we ended up with a bonus week in Disney World, which we never expected. And now, because of the pandemic then happening a few months later, we are so grateful, because we probably wouldn't have ended up having our last family trip in Walt Disney World. I say last because the kids now have partners and they're at uni, and our lives have all completely changed since now. And I don't know if we will just travel the 4 of us again to Disney. So this, or anywhere else, this trip feels very, very special. So I documented all of that here. I also documented because it was the time of Hurricane Dorian, and there was a lot of talk. Orlando Airport was closed and our flights were cancelled. We ended up being able to travel to Tampa and then drive to Orlando from there. There was a lot of touch go. We didn't think we would make it, and we did. Until we got on that flight, we never realised or never imagined we would go. I've used an envelope here. There's quite a lot of stories here to tell. I've got boarding passes in this big envelope. And I put "and breathe." That was us getting on the flight. Oh gosh, that was stressful, so stressful. But at the same time, you also feel that's our only stress right now. There's people in this world, because of the hurricane, losing their lives, losing their homes. And you do feel, actually, us just being stressed over a holiday. We're safe, we're with family, it's not the end of the world. So you do have to kind of think about things at the time and just realise how lucky we are. It could be a lot worse. So I've just done a few little things I've done like a happiness card. It's what was making us happy right then. I had a lovely stay in the Marriott Hotel in LA at the airport. Beautiful. The steak there, dinner, was one of the best meals we've had. Just loved it. There, just a little bit. I haven't ended up putting anything in that envelope. Sometimes you don't need it. Sometimes it's just nice to have something. And just seeing that coastline of Florida, that's clear water there, was just amazing. We just felt so lucky. Right, what have we got here? We have got arriving in, I thought I had that's that page I was thinking on, Bay Lake. So we had our first DVC stay, and this is at Bay Lake Tower, and I've used the paper there as little journal lines. That opens out. We were just so happy and feeling very lucky. This was actually quite a large envelope, and I cut it down, and then this is the bit I cut down this side. I've sealed it down, and then I've got photos with leaves and journaling on the back. I thought that was quite fun, so they belong in there. It's always fun trying to find different ways to add photos and journaling and things. So that was one of my stickers I designed for my kits. I love the contrasting colours of this page, and as much as I loved this journal because it had watercolour paper, I haven't actually used the watercolour paper too much, but here in little spaces it's been really nice. And here as well I've done some watercolours. I used a pear tree cut file here, and I've got the word summer. This really was the very best summer. And then this again was the same journaling paper, and if you see, I've used a punch here along the side, and I just thought that looked really pretty. And this is a shorter version this side. More photos, and I've just popped these in here with more journaling on the back. I quite like doing that. Have a photo, pop some plainer paper on the back, and using that to journal. And then we've got photos that side as well. And if you see, because of the little punched edge there on this side, just see a tiny little bit. I really like that. I think that looks really cute. And then this one's another big flip out one. I do have, like I said, process videos of most of these. I will leave a link below. So great big clip here. This one is here. I love this. This is actually from some packaging that I've used, and that's the inside of the packaging, and I've just popped paper on that side. And to hold in a receipt, I've actually used a little heart paper clip. This one is actually a luggage, no it's not, clothing tag from Primark, and I've popped a little tab on the top there. And so that's like that. This opens out. This is also from Simple Stories, Carpe Diem, a little notepad for all my journaling there. And this flips out to continue on with the journaling. And then this page here, and I've added tabs to these, opens out for loads more photos. I love this. This was all packaging as well, Finding Paradise. And then this side here, I made a little envelope out of one of my little paper bags from my kits, and we've got like a little mini book almost there, which I thought was really cute. So this one opens this way, and this one opens that way, and that goes in there. Another kind of way to add extra photos to the page. So let's just pop this back in. I just love a journal with loads and loads of bits and pieces. This one here, Holly was just trying to snuggle with Louie. You've got to love the silly photos. They're such good friends, our kids. They're always messing around. This opens out. It's those silly moments that I love capturing. Like the pose photos are great, but it's the real ones I really love when you just so happen to be able to get that shot. I have used the watercolor paper here, as you can see, telling a little story. This one I really like as well. I've added an extra page. I was starting to run out of pages, so I have stuck this in, but it's like a slightly shorter page, which I really like. And then I realised I haven't journaled on this one yet, so I was doing that one. I wanted to add, we went to Galaxy's Edge just as it opened, and I wanted to add this, something that we picked up about Galaxy's Edge. I thought that was really cool because it had literally just opened, but it didn't really go with the colourfulness of my page, so I added a pocket so that I could pop it there, which I was really pleased with. I do. Oh look, I popped Star Wars there. I like how that really shows up on the green. Then this one here is just us with our Gaston cinnamon bun. Here you can see I've actually printed off, it says Magic Kingdom 9th of September 2019, and that is 8:15 in the morning. I like leaving the date and time stamps. I think it's really fun. Does that flip up? Oh, it does a little bit. There. Oh, and this, oh, that flips. That was a nice surprise. Then on this page here, we have got just talking about, it's because it's autumn, I'm sort of documenting a little bit of seasonal with the photos. There, I quite like the way that's journaled. I've stuck a great big leaf from a leaf punch there, journaled over the top. Coming towards the end, we've got cocktails. This was actually from my zine. I do a little mini magazine with each of my kits, and I've actually sewn around the edge there for a little bit of added texture. This is all watercolours here on the paper. And then here we've got coffee and Disney. I've forgotten to journal on that one as well. I've actually done a coffee ring there too. Let's pop that in. And that's it. Last photo of the trip. We went on to Space Mountain. No, we didn't. Splash Mountain. And we all said, we all agree on poses for photos that we would be really, really sad. It was our last ride of the trip. So we all looked really sad except for Louie. He decided to do his own thing that day. That's just so typical of Louie. So that is the last of our trip. I need to do something on the back page really, and in the very back pocket, another reason I love these so much, we've got park maps, and that was just something that was left in our room. I've added a clip on there, but that is it. That is the end of our 2019 Disney trips. I love that they're all in one journal. I'm so pleased with that. I had so much fun. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's been fun to look through with me. Thank you so much, and let me know if you have a completed Disney journal as well. I love looking through them. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.